Hello people, look a little different. Well, it's a brand new setup because I moved out and now this is pretty much my brand new setup with all my movies, my final Funko Pops. So yeah, here's my new setup. And I thought, what better way to show my new setup with Transformers? Transformers: The Last Knight is the fifth film in the Transformers franchise, directed by Michael Bay. Now look, I had planned to do like a little retrospective video on the Transformers movies because I have a love-hate relationship with these films. But you know what? Here's a quick rundown. All the odd-number Transformers movies, good. All the even-number Transformers movies, bad. My favorite of them so far is Dark of the Moon. I actually thought that is a better film than a lot of people give it credit for. I do like the first movie. I love it. I remember I loved it when it first came out. The second one, not so good, but I still found some enjoyment with it. I think the worst of them all is Age of Extinction. But the only reason I love Revenge of the Fallen more than Age of Extinction, just simply because, you know, you gotta think Revenge of the Fallen, what was wrong when the writer's strike was going around, so I can't really fault the movie for that. But Age of Extinction, I still find some enjoyment in it, but yeah, not so good. So now Michael Bay brings us yet again another Bayformers movie. So here we go. So the plot of this movie is a world-threatening threat comes to Earth. The Transformers are now bad in the eyes of the people, so they're now being hunted. But then we got Mark Wahlberg's character, Kate Yeager, from the last film. He's like this savior of all the Transformers. He saves them, he protects them. But then something happens, and then he meets Laura Haddock's character, and now both of them have to work together to bring peace. It's pretty much the plot of every Transformers movie, and you know, you would think rather not just concentrate on the Transformers rather than the human characters, but we still get the human characters. So yeah, that is. Now, as I said, I think the fourth movie is the worst of them all, but with this film, I think it is a slight improvement over the last film. I really do. Like, I actually thought this film was a lot better. And you know, if you've been following the news of this movie, they had a writer's room, but Michael Bay still came on. They at least tried to do something different. But that being said, it's still pretty much about the same movie you've come to expect with these Transformers. It's a bizarre CGI fest with explosions, the military is involved, CGI characters that you can't really tell who's good or who's bad, action scenes that are well choreographed, because Michael Bay, he's a good action director. You get racist characters, you get objectified women in this movie, but more on that later. Cringeworthy humor that tries to be funny, but it's really not. And respected older actors that are being dragged into this mess because either they just have next to no knowledge of the franchise, or they're just in it for a paycheck, or because they want to be in a movie that their kids, or in this case, grandkids, can see. But let's get into the positives. Okay, so I say the first act of this movie was actually pretty good in my opinion, except for that little intro with King Arthur in the medieval times or whatever. It had its good and its bad. The whole middle act, it kind of slowed down for me, but then the third act, it kind of brought back up for me. I thought that final conclusion was actually pretty epic and entertaining. Again, I have to say, there is some humor in this film that just didn't really land well. Okay, so let's talk about some of the characters, because that's really how I'm going to bring in the positives and the negatives. So like Optimus Prime, he's in this movie alright, for about 15 minutes. Like, he shows up at the beginning of the movie and then doesn't show up to the last act of the movie. But I did kind of like his story arc in the movie, where, you know, he meets Quintessa, and she's brainwashed him to pretty much destroy all the Transformers that are left on Earth. Megatron is in this movie all of a sudden because, spoiler alert, for anyone who didn't see the last movie, he was Galvatron in the last movie, but then you go to this movie, all of a sudden he's Megatron, so like, they didn't really explain how he went from Galvatron to Megatron. I did like Bumblebee in this movie. Like, they kind of touch on some of his history in the movie, and you know, we are getting a Bumblebee movie, but I feel like they didn't really expand upon that. But yeah, that's all I got to say about the Transformers characters in the movie. So let's get to the human characters, because is really the main focus of this movie. I don't know why. So Mark Wahlberg returns again in this film. He doesn't have his daughter and his overage boyfriend. But as I said, in this movie, I did kind of like his story in this movie. You know, he's kind of like this hero that everyone is after, but, you know, he's protecting the Transformers. He owns his wasteland / junkyard. Anthony Hopkins' character, again, I mentioned that he is the respected older actor in this film that's being dragged into this mess, and he was fine for what he was given, but he was just unnecessary. And another thing I also like to point out that you also see in Transformers movies, there's just too many subplots, and he tries to bring in a plot where the Transformers have always been here, as they say in every Transformers movie. The first one, it was the Ice Age. The second one, the Transformers built pyramids. the third one, Transformers were the first to get to the moon, and then the Transformers are the reason dinosaurs went extinct, and now this one, they go back to medieval times. Some characters do return from the previous movies, like Josh Duhamel's character. I did like his character. I did like his arc in the film, in which, you know, he's working with the humans, and, you know, he's conflicted because he's worked with the Transformers before, but he's with the humans that are hunting the Transformers down, so it's like he doesn't know what to do. I did like that. But really, the male characters are just hit or miss with me, but it's really the female characters that really kind of got to me, because, you know, Michael Bay, he does like to objectify women. You know, we get Laura Haddock in the film, a.k.a. Star-Lord's mom from Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm just sorry, can we just talk about that for a sec, because you know she is essentially Mark Wahlberg's love interest in the film. So can you just imagine Mark Wahlberg just being like, "Hey Star-Lord, say hello to your mom for me, alright?" But no, Laura Haddock's character in the moon, she's like this Oxford major, and you know, she's this Oxford major, she's really smart, and you know, you can tell that with this film, Michael Bay, he really wanted to objectify women more in this film, but you know, it's 2017, we live in a progressive and forward-thinking world, so it's like, alright, just make her an Oxford grad, and then she's smart, and you know. And speaking of that, let's talk about the little girl character in this film. Now, you've seen her in all the marketing campaigns. They had an entire campaign about her. You know, you've seen the trailer where she's like, "I want to stay and I want to fight." And then you saw that one trailer, she was like, "I hit like a girl, punch like a girl, fight like a girl." I'm like, what? I'm sorry, it's just like, understood what they were coming from, but it just felt like Michael Bay, he saw Star Wars The Force Awakens and say, "Hey, you know that Rey character? I want that in my movie." It just felt like he was pandering to a certain audience, you know, trying to get girl power in the movie. I'm like, no, that's not how you go about that. Look, I'm not going to waste any more time on this film because, you know, like I said, I feel like this film is a slight improvement over the last film. Like, again, I think the cycle continues where all the odd number Transformers movies are good and all the even number Transformers movies are bad. So right now for me, it's 3, 1, 5, 2, and 4. That being said, this is pretty much about the same in every Transformers movie, but yet I still go to them. And why? Because every Transformers movie I can still find stuff to not necessarily give it a pass, but just not to hate. I still can find some enjoyment in these films, and I still get a kick out of watching them. So I still have them. You know, I own all the Transformers movies on Blu-ray, but you know, that still doesn't excuse the fact that these are pretty much lazy films. So again, it all depends on where you stand with these films. If you like them, that's fine. But if you hate them, I understand. So with that, I'm gonna give Transformers: The Last Knight 2 stars for watch with caution. That's it for the day. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more, check out my channel. The link is in the description below. And be sure to check out my Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and Periscope. Peace.